The love that springs from insight. The practice of mindfulness leads to concentration and insights. Insight is the fruit of the practice, which will help us to forgive, to love. In a period of 15 minutes or half an hour, the practice of mindfulness, concentration, and insight can liberate you from your anger and turn you into a loving person. That is the strength of the dharma, the miracle of dharma. A real love letter is made of insights, understanding, and compassion. Otherwise, it is not a love letter. A true love letter can produce a transformation in other persons and therefore in the world. But before it produces a transformation in the other person, it has to produce transformation within you. The time you take to write the letter may be your whole life. Patience is the mark of true love. A father has to be patient in order to show his love to his son or daughter. A mother, a son, and a daughter also. If you want to love, you must learn to be patient. If you are not patient, you cannot help the other person. Understanding is the ground of love. If a father and son do not understand each other, they will make each other suffer. So, understanding is the key that unlocks the door of love. If understanding is not there, no matter how hard you try, you cannot love. If you say, I have to try to love him, this is nonsensical. You have to understand him, and through understanding, you will be able to love him. If we live with the understanding of impermanence, we will cultivate and nurture our love. Only then will it last. All the suffering of living beings is our own suffering. We have to see that we are there and they are us. We are they and they are us. When we see their suffering, an arrow of compassion and love enters our heart. We can love them, embrace them, and find a way to help them. Only then will we not be overwhelmed by despair at their situation or our own. Unless you know how to love your neighbor, you cannot love God. Before practicing an offering on the altar, you have to reconcile with your neighbor, because reconciling with your neighbor is to reconcile with God. You can only touch God through his creations, through his creatures. You will not understand what is true love and love of God unless you practice the love of humanity. Love relieves suffering. Allow yourself to be a torch and allow the flame of your torch to be transmitted to other torches. Practicing like that, you can help peace and joy grow in the entire world. This is the practice. When you become mindful, understanding, and loving, you suffer much less. You begin to feel happy, and people around you begin to profit from you being there. When you are mindful, you realize that the other person suffers. When you are mindful, realize that the other person suffers. You see her suffering, and suddenly you don't want her to suffer anymore. If you touch suffering deeply in yourself and other people, understanding will arise. When understanding arises, love and acceptance will also arise, and this will bring the suffering to an end. When you are motivated by the desire to transcend suffering, to get out of the difficult situation, and to help others to do the same, you become a powerful source of energy that helps you to do what you want to do, to transform yourself and to help other people. True love is made of understanding the other person, the object of your love, understanding their suffering, their difficulties, and their true aspirations. Out of understanding, there will be kindness, there will be compassion, there will be an offering of joy. If respect for the other person is no longer there, true love cannot continue for long. True love is a love with possessiveness. You love and still you are free, and other person is also free. The kind of love that has no joy is not true love. In both parties cry, if both parties cry every day, then that is not true love. There must be joy and freedom and understanding of love. If mindfulness is cultivated in our daily life, if concentration and insight and are cultivated in our daily life, we will become more open, more tolerant, and our love will grow more stronger within us. Reality cannot be described in terms of being a non-being. Being and non-being are notions created by you, exactly like the notions of birth and death, coming and going. If your beloved one cannot no longer be seen, it does not mean that from being she has become non-being. If you realize this truth about your beloved, you will suffer much less. And if you realize the truth about yourself, you will transcend your fear of dying and non-birth. The end. And that is so beautiful, and this is such a valuable book that can teach you a lot. Goodbye.